Welcome to Year of Connection, a year-long journey toward becoming whole self-connected. I'm your host, Pauline Shu. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the paradox of how feeling insignificant in certain ways can sometimes lead you to make stronger, better, and more significant connections. This past weekend, I went camping with my family. It was my daughter's choice of Father's Day present for my husband, and it happened to fit in really nicely with this week's theme, because while we were camping, we got to do something that we really enjoy. We stared at the stars. Nature is full of great expanses, and so it is in nature where I often recommend people to spend time if they want to understand their own significance. And they do that through feeling insignificant. I know that's a really funny thing to say, but bear with me for a time and I'll try to explain it. But first I'm going to back up a little bit. Sometimes when I find myself in a rut, I love to go out in nature and experience something that's stimulating in a way that you can't really get in any other man-made way. It can be difficult to take time away for something like camping, as we did this particular weekend, but even an hour, even 30 minutes spent in nature can sometimes help to pull you out of the day-to-day, the drudgery, the routine. Nature has a lot of things that are different and exciting and new, but you have to take the time to observe and appreciate them. It might not move as fast as the pace that we're usually used to, but it can be just as exciting. It does require us to slow down in order to take stock of the world around us. It can also help us to be alone with our thoughts. And in today's show notes, I share a link to an article on how occasional solitude is good for your mental health. In fact, there are so many proven benefits to spending time in nature that some people have even taken to calling it forest bathing. It's a cleansing and a relaxing for the soul, just as taking a bath would be for the physical body. I think it's important to share all of those benefits to going out in nature, which is about gaining meaning through the way that nature makes us feel small. I see nature's impact on our own sense of self to be two-sided. One side is that when we look at very large expanses of things that occur in nature, and I am talking about either looking up at the night sky to see the stars, going out to stare at the ocean, or even just standing on the edge of a cliff overlooking a valley below, we often feel the grandeur of nature is much larger in comparison to our single individual selves. And in doing this, we feel our individual insignificance. We feel our individual humility. But as we feel that, we realize that these natural expanses are so large that they cause a sense of awe and wonder in almost everybody. Not only that, but at the same time that we are staring up at the night sky and looking at the moon, there's someone else in the world who's staring up at the night sky and looking at that exact same moon. When they see it, they see the same body that we do. And being able to share both that awe and the actual physical view with others is a great way to feel connected to humanity as a whole. There are very few other things that are big enough to connect us in such a way. Another part of nature's grandeur is its persistence. The same moon that has been looked upon for millions of years is the same one that we see today. Understanding that there is continuity of the species and of the world we know can be very comforting, as well as lead to a common understanding of where we all come from and where we are all going to. And there's another side to nature's impact on our perception of ourselves and our significance. And that is when we flip it around and we consider that if we as human beings were taken as a whole, just like the night sky full of stars, just like an enormous ocean full of so many drops of water, we as humans can create a deep sense of wonder in such a volume and in so many numbers as to be awe-inspiring. And through this as well, we can feel connected to our fellow man, to understand that every person has that power if only we were to connect together. That's not to say that you can't make a connection one-on-one or in a small group with people you already know. You can be out on a walk with a partner, stop and take in a sunset that spans the entire horizon, and feel strongly connected to the person you're with. But that is a different kind of connection from the one I'm specifically addressing today. And then there are the other benefits to spending time in nature that we've already discussed in these past episodes. Being able to disconnect from technology, being in a place where you have space and time to meditate, and even taking in a transformative performance. That is the performance of nature. And all of these things help us to form deeper, stronger, significant connections. Do you have a special place you like to go, or certain things you like to see when you want to observe the grandeur of nature? I'd love to hear about them. Feel free to leave a comment on this show's post or send me an email to share. Thank you for listening. I'll see you next week. In the meantime, I wish you safe travels.